If improving the state of your hip is one of the goals that you have for yourself right now, there's a few boxes that I think are worth making sure that you check with your training. The first being making sure that you do exercises where you both move your femur on your pelvis and where you move your pelvis on your femur. You want to be able to both perform and control both. The other thing is making sure you're doing both open chain exercises and closed chain exercises. An example of an open chain exercise for my right hip will be standing on my left leg and taking my right hip through a hip C.a.r. So my right hip is just moving through space. That's an open chain exercise. If I wanted to take the same exercise and make it closed chain for my right hip, I would just keep my right foot on the ground and then I'm going to move my pelvis on my femur. My foot being on the ground closes off that chain. So now it's a closed chain exercise. So that would actually be a good example of an exercise that both checks the box for closed chain and checks the box for pelvis on femur. So if I'm going to do a closed chain pelvis on femur hip C.a.r. on my right leg, I'm going to start by having something for hand support. Now you don't want to push through this a ton, you just want to feather your hand there and just use it as much as you need to for balance, and then you can graduate to doing it without balance once you're ready. So I'll stand on my right leg. My left leg is either going to be straight or bent. I'm fine with both. You just try and keep it still the whole time. Try and imagine yourself as a statue moving on that ball or on that femur. So I'm going to start it by actually trying to think about pulling my abdomen or pulling my belly button over to the right side, which is internal rotation, as I go through flexion and adduction. Then I'm going to open up to the side, which is abduction. I'm going to come back through hip extension and then come back around through internal rotation. We come out and come back through. Now you want to make sure you also go both ways. So I can also open up, go through hip extension, find my bottom position, come back through flexion, adduction, internal rotation, and then come back up. So what that would look like from the side is, once again, you can use those sharp bones on the front of your pelvis for reference as you move through it, or you can use your belly button, but you're going to try and point both those sharp bones and your belly button off to the right side as you sink into hip flexion and adduction, internal rotation. Then you're going to open up through abduction as you point those bones off to the side. Then you'll come up through hip extension, and you could continue back around that way, or you could then reverse and then go back the other way. So through extension and abduction, come back down through flexion, then find adduction, internal rotation, and come back up. You can then start to progress that over time. So once you no longer need hand support when you do it, you then have two free hands to actually hang on to some weight. You can squeeze a med ball, you can hold some kettlebells or a kettlebell, and you can actually load that exercise as well. So with that one exercise alone, you check the box for a closed chain exercise, you check the box for adding pelvis on femur work into your program, and you get all the added benefits of hip C.a.r.s. So you get all the capsular benefits, you fully move the pelvis on the femur, so we get all that fluid flushing around the hip joint. We start to actually nourish the deep articular cartilage because we get that hydraulic mechanism that comes with movement. We get all the capsular benefits of that capsule kicking information from your hip up to your brain, and if you have no clue what I'm talking about right now, make sure that you go back and watch my hip anatomy video that'll walk you through what I'm talking about there. So you get a lot of benefits from that one exercise alone. So that is a good one worth considering adding to your program. Whenever you watch one of my videos, make sure to check the description below the video because I'll always drop links to related videos, links to exercises that would go well with the one that you just finished watching, links to free mobility classes, ebooks, and to my ever-growing library of full-length training videos. Additionally, if you found this specific video helpful, please let me know by hitting the like button below, and that'll send me the message that you want to see more videos like this one. You can also subscribe to be notified when new videos like this one are available. And if there's something specific that you want to see a video on, just let me know in the comments below and we'll try and make that happen. Otherwise, take care and we'll see you in the next one.